Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Project Aura. So, on the previous episode, we figured out how to set up a basic seaweed generation system, and yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not sustainable yet. We're close. But currently, the thing we need, the only thing that we need to actually input into the system at this point is organic material, and we're not sure how to do that. So earlier, I just bought like a butt ton of it, 400. And the thing is, SC is fairly, well, we have a fair amount of SC, and organic waste is super cheap. But, how do you get SC? I was looking this up, and I couldn't figure it out because the charts are completely useless. And so, I figured it out. I know how to get more organic material. So, first and foremost, this is what the hangar is for. The hangar is how you get planes, go figure. It kind of looks like a weird plane helicopter type deal. I guess it is a plane. It's weird and bulky. It's like a box truck of planes. But anyway, so we need to make a aerial U-Haul, and the resources to make a hangar pretty cheap. It's I mean, it's iron, aluminum. It's still going to cost us a pretty penny, and on a higher difficulty game, that might almost be impossible to do. But we're not on a higher difficulty game. This is just us learning how to play. Let's make sure that we're actually dragging the template into the right area. Okay, so it's going to cost us about 2,000 SC to start the construction of the hangar. It's not bad, but if we need to get multiple hangars, and we're going to need about 3, if not more, the price is going to go up. Then what we want to do is buy one blueprint for resource extraction. That's all we need. At least as far as like blueprints go. And the last thing we need is the expensive stuff. So we have a couple of options here, and I'm just going to go through this because it's the fastest way of doing it. You need to buy a ship, so we need to buy an Alpha ship. That's 2,500 SC. That's expensive. We need to buy scanner, cargo, and I'm going to buy 2 solar shields. I'm not entirely sure why there are 2 entries here, but I'm going to buy them anyway. And I assume at some point the ships are either going to get blown up or run into weather issues. I'm not sure. But for the time being, it looks like ships aren't affected, but I'm going to buy them anyway, just because it's got slots for them, and, I mean, if we're going to run the bill, we might as well run the bill as high as possible. Eventually, we'll run out of money and I'll figure things out. But, so, now that we've purchased what we need, go to the hangar, drag it out. Right here is fine. I'm putting it on one of the bigger platforms just because the hangar is massive. If you can tell, it's technically filled with a ship already, even though that's not actually true. There are no ships here. So what we need to do, move the organizational chart over, drag ship Alpha on. However, since we don't have the blueprint for resource extraction, we got to get that in there first. Now, what we're going to need for this facility is a director, a pilot, and that's actually it as far as manpower goes. It's fairly light on that. So I'm just going to drag all the ship modules out here. We'll organize them as we go, and I might as well see if I can find a pilot. Not sure. Yep. Okay. Ooh, master pilot. Okay. So the reason why you want people like a master or, you know, one of the higher level people is higher level people are more efficient and will... Actually, let's drag another pilot out here, seeing as we don't have any other directors, but we're going to need more pilots as we go along. But, so having this master pilot means he's going to be able to extract resources faster. So let's get all of this linked up. Takes a little while, but it's no big deal. And I'm not actually sure if any of the, like, all of these are particularly necessary, or if you can, like, go on with a limited scanner. I assume you need cargo at the very least, but I'm trying to keep everything as... Okay, so it looks like having a cargo module just increases the amount of cargo it can carry by 50. So normally it can carry 100. That's not bad, actually. So you could actually just send the ship off by itself without buying all of these super expensive things, because I think the scanner was like 1,000 SC, and the solar shields are 250 each, and cargo was like 500. But seeing as we've got the money, and this is mostly an instructional series, until until the game is actually complicated enough that we actually need a challenge, I figured I'd do it this way. So now we've got a pilot as the director. Hopefully he'll gain at least a level or 2, so by the time we have more directors and more pilots, and hangars to put those pilots in, then we can shift him off over to something a little bit more useful than what he's currently doing. But at this point, this system's already good to go. But before we do, we actually have 3 things that we can do. So we can have the plane go off to get organics, which is how we get the organic waste to make seaweed, plastics, or metals. So this is actually how you get your basic resource gathering. I really think they should have covered this in the tutorials first, and to a small degree, I feel like I should have as well. But, you know what, I didn't know about it until about 5 minutes ago, and, well, here we go. So I'm sending it off for organic extraction. And whenever it starts, and it should start immediately, we'll actually see the plane lift off. I'm going to hide this for a second. This is 80%. I did connect everything, right? Yeah, looks like it. I'm gonna just clean this up, because the last time I did this, it lifted off immediately. Hence my slight concern here. I doubt I did anything wrong, though. I'm usually pretty good at this sort of thing. Let's see. Well, of course, if it never lifts off, then our people are going to starve. And it's their fault for not... I don't know. Yeah, it's all connected. Why does it say... Oh, 80% is because I don't have the building maintenance. I might as well throw that on. Maybe it did actually lift off, and that's just like a placeholder thing. I've never been able to figure out half of this stuff in this game. I'll get there eventually. Oh, right. You can't drag it to your inventory. Alright, building maintenance. Might as well hook it up. And... Oh, okay, so the 80... Ugh. This game is nonsense sometimes. Because it's not moving. But why? Oh, I know why it's not moving. I'm a dumb bunny. There it's going. So one of the things I discovered is there's no pause button in this game. What there is, though, is the time differential that you can mess around with. So, what I did was, if you do shift minus, you actually slow time to a crawl and or just completely stopped. So in this case, I'd stopped time and completely forgotten about it. So, there goes the plane, and it'll be back with organic resources in some intermediate amount of time. Actually, it doesn't look like it's too long, so this should net me a fair amount of resources. Now, seeing as we're here, and on the topic of planes, I'm going to quickly build 2 more of these things. And it's going to run me up quite a fair amount of money, but this way we can get the basics for metals and plastics, which we're going to need eventually anyway. Oh, right. I gotta... Weird. And you can drag it over twice to double the resources, which is exactly what we need. Alright. Now that we've got the necessary materials, let's get us 1 hangar. What the... Okay. For whatever... Oh, I see. Those are like solar panel-y type things, and it does not want me to overlap them. Odd. But, I mean, not the end of the world either. So I might as well just have this area be the hangar zone. And maybe it will... maybe we'll get struck by lightning or blow up or something and we'll regret our decisions. But you know what? When that day comes, I think the coming apocalypse is going to be far more concerning than, oh no, my planes are gone. So, unfortunately, what we're going to have to do is load up both of these hangars with all of the same resources. But once we do that, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So, let's just start with this one. And, yeah, no more... Oh, wait, I got a director this time. Yeah. And a pilot. And that's all we need. I should probably check the food reserves just for a second. Alright, so I've got enough food for... I have 20 colonists. 2 days. I should probably actually, before we continue on with this, I should go check the drying seaweed, which is not started yet, but now we have the necessary food. Or, not the necessary food, we have the necessary resources to dry seaweed, which will get us our necessary food. So, hopefully I won't have to buy any more food. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. Worst comes to worst, I'm probably going to have to make another one of these facilities at some point. But I think it's more important for me to max out the drying seaweed. Maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell. We'll see. But, you know what? I've got plenty of money right now. And this is a terrible economic decision. If you're from, like, the U.S. government, or any government for that matter, and you're trying to take, like, life lessons for me here on how to run your country, please just drive away as fast as possible. Set your computer on fire and never visit this YouTube channel again, because I don't want to be at fault for some, you know, poor country, city, township, or whatever being set on fire as a result of being underfed and poorly managed. You've been thoroughly warned at this point. Okay, back to this. Now, I don't... Oh, right, you can't drag it. You have to just purchase. And our ship is already back. Wow, okay, so I believe we're going to be pulling in more resources than we're going to be able to produce, which is good. Now, time to waste loads more money. Runs about 6,000 per one of these, which is going to run in, which is going to cause us some issues. So what I'm going to do is have one ship continuously bringing in organics, and then the other one is going to be... Oh, did I not buy... Oh, it's under tech. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have this hangar. I'll leave the other one alone. It can just sit there. Unpowered or unneeded, I guess. But I'm going to have the other one sit around and do nothing. And I'll switch this one back and forth between plastics and metals as needed. Because we're probably not going to be doing that much production. So, boy, this is an expensive hobby. And by hobby, I mean feeding people, and I don't think they agree with me, the fact that it's expensive. It's kind of necessary. Now, I still have yet to figure out how to make money in this game. That is going to be a serious concern very quickly, so I think if I can figure it out, the next episode will cover how to make SC, because otherwise we are going to crash and burn pretty spectacularly. It'll be funny, but it'll be unfortunate at the same time. Alright, oh, shoot, I don't want organics. Stop the blueprint. That plane comes back fast. Oh, right. So let's send it off for some plastics. We're going to need those anyway. Alright, so that's going. It'll come back for stuff. Now what we want to do is a plastics factory, I believe. Yep. Okay, so what we need is a plastics factory. However, what we actually need first is, before we even have that, what we need to do is have a recycling plant that's specifically for recycling certain things. Okay, so let's mess with this blueprint. Now, we already have one recycling plant that's purely for organics. I think it's this one over here. Or is it... It's this one. Yeah, this is our recycling plant, but this is our organic recycling. So, its entire job should be... And it hasn't even started, which is super bad. Its entire job is to recycle organics. And I'm just going to let that go. I honestly can't believe I haven't even had that running. Unless it automatically stopped when I ran out. I don't know. And can't believe that this would stop either. Alright, so these are going. And should be netting me the resources I need. Of course, I've stopped time already, so... None of these arrows are going to be going until I do. Okay, perfect. So the organics recycling is going to run, and this will provide fertilizer, seaweed, yada, yada, yada. So we're all good in this sector, but I'm not going to be using this recycler for anything else, I think. I will probably take some of the manpower off of it, because it seems to be... it'll probably progress at a decent pace once we get it going, and honestly, I don't want to hire too many more people. Alright, so, back to the topic at hand. There are a couple of different facilities you can build. There's the recycling plant itself, which is how you recycle the materials. There's also an assembly plant, which is what you can't do at the organics recycling I've already got set up. So, what we want to do is build this facility instead. And so, just to kind of show on the blueprint, this kind of L-shaped thing, actually, let's just make a new blueprint just so it's shown. So this L-shaped facility is the assembly plant. The shorter one is the recycling plant. And then you need a workshop, I think, and a portal. Portal is how people come and go. And as long as they're all connected together, it'll be a working facility. If there are any spaces in between, it will yell at you. So this is a functional recycling plant setup. So, might as well use it. And, unfortunately, we don't have the resources for it yet. Go figure. So what we're going to do is drag this template out, buy all the stuff. It's 3,000 SC. Pretty expensive, but again, like the hangar, we're going to be able to reuse it as much as we want. So let's purchase what we need. And it is not going to fit. It is massive. If I had maybe restructured that recycling plant, we'd be able to fit it in, but we might be able to do. Nope, not even going to fit in there. There is not a whole lot of places I can put this. So I guess what we're going to do is throw it out here with the hangars. Trying to see if I can scoot it in around things. I like playing Tetris. I'm awful at it. I did not grow up in the era. Alright, well, I guess I'll just make this one big ol' industrial park. And I think I'll squeeze it in around that thing. Nah, that seems like a poor mismanagement of space. I'll just dump it there. Whatever. Alright, so first, let's close this. We don't need any more templates. This is the water desalination plant, which is stopped. Why is it stopped? You should not be stopped. You should be going at all times. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why the structures will stop, because it looks like they've just randomly stopped across the board for no good reason, which is kind of confusing. Especially because I need those resources, and if it stops for no good reason, we're in trouble. Yeah, even this one stops, so maybe when I stop time... Oh boy, that could be a problem. Yeah, I think that's how it works. And this one is useless, so what I'm actually going to do with this one is recycle it. And I believe that's going to net me a lot of my junk back. Yeah, looks like it at least got me some of my stuff back. Oh boy. Food. Let's check food. Okay, we've got 10 water portion. That's it. But should be fine as it comes in. Okay. So, we've got our bigger recycling plant done. This is... I should make sure the seaweed is running too. Okay. So the drying seaweed is working. However, the seaweed fattening is not. But now we've got the fertilizer in. Okay, so everything is working. It's just weirdly not all the time. I don't know. Don't really understand it. And we need operators for this one. Don't think I have any extras of those. Let's go over to the recycling plant. And so we've got recyclers, technician. Oh, the technician is for building maintenance. The recyclers are for this. So what we probably are going to want to do, all of these guys are juniors. So in this case, I'm just going to delete them. Hitting delete does not actually delete them. It just moves them over to the idle queue. And I'm just going to take 2 of the recyclers off for the time being. I'm going to move them over to the other plant. It will make this move a little bit slower, but not much we can do about that situation. We're running into food issues, and I'll hire more people as we go along, but for the time being, should probably just focus on what I can do. Now, let's quickly check the chart here. So what we can do with the recycling plant is assembly or disassembly, recycling, and building maintenance. So we're going to want is assembly. Can't drag it over, unfortunately. And we're going to want recycling. These two are going to be how we get our plastics resources. And I think there are multiple stages that all have like their own unique uses, but for the time being, let's see, junior, 2 recyclers. Perfect. Let's drag them over. For the time being, let's just get this underway, because as soon as those plastics come in, we're going to need to do something with them. And to go anywhere, we're going to need a director. Do we have any of those? It's always operator, pilot. Yeah, nothing. Great. In that case, let's just grab another... do we have any artisans? No. We're probably going to need at least one of those. Here we go. Artisan. And... versatile, probably. Kenton, Rhodes, Dodge. I should probably look into all of the characters' names, because I think some of them had fairly humorous names to go along with. But anyway, we've got the artisan on assembly and 2 recyclers. So, once we get our... let's switch him over to plastics, because he can recycle anything. So on plastics, he'll be able to make plastic scrap, which can then be assembled. Oh, e-waste is assembled into something else. I don't actually... Okay, well, never mind. Assembly is different. Huh. I'll have to figure that one out. Because plastic scrap goes into plastic storage. As a... Alright, so I guess we're done with the recycling plant. Now we have to go figure out what to do next in this process. Because once we get the plastic garbage, and I might as well actually buy 100 of it, just so I can start the process. And won't have to worry anything. So plastic garbage, buy 100, dirt cheap. I can start this. And we can, at the very least, start the process and start feeding materials through. Okay. So, recycling plant should be going. Looks like it is. And now we want to get over to buildings, because we've got recycling. So in this case, oh, we need a plastics factory. And there are a bunch of different modules as well. So there's sorting, there's grinding, fusion, and a portal. Alright, so what we're probably going to want to do is actually just max out the entire facility. So I'm going to... I don't actually know what any of these... Oh, each of these templates corresponds with all of the facilities. Now, is this one all of them? It looks like it. Some of the facilities will have, like... Or some of the templates will actually have all of the structures incorporated in. So, in this case, template 3 is what we need. Unfortunately, we don't have the stuff. So, let's buy what we need. As usual, how much is this going to run me? 4,000! Jeez! Alright, so we're probably going to run out of money on this episode. That's okay. I'll probably just start over with more proper information as we go along. So, let's just dump this bad boy. Can I dump it right here? Damn. It's just a little bit off. My Tetris skills are awful. And or the people who made this game. I'm going to blame them. Blame them for my shortcomings. It's, I don't know, it seems like a working life plan. Now, along here we can buy blueprint plastic sorting, plastic grinding, plastic melting, and building maintenance. So we're going to want to get sorting, melting, grinding. And, because this is how you make plastic flakes, which get turned into polymer, which get turned into prefab modules through a prefab unit. Which is how you get the alpha beta stuff, which is largely where we're spending 90% of our money. So it's pretty important that we get into this eventually. I just have yet to figure out along the way how to make cash. No idea. Gonna run out. Okay, so we need tech. We need, not that tech. Plastic prefab. Eventually. Where's the other ones? Plastic melting, grinding, sorting, and then actually metal refining. I'll handle that in a different episode. Because this is all going to run me pretty much through all of my cash. And that's okay. So, plastic sorting and... Oh, apparently I have 2 for metal refining, apparently. Weird. I remember that happening. Anyway. Let's hook all these up. So, all of these need H operators. And so I'll probably just get 1 of each. That is not the best organizational chart I've ever put together, but then again, I just kind of guess. Okay, so let's make it nice and pretty. I like pretty. I like designery stuff. Yeah! Someday I should make an infograph. It'd be cool. Now, how are people starving? We have 1 day for all of this food. This is probably bad. But we'll figure it out. Alright, so we're going to need 3 H operators. So here's 1. Now, what I could do, and I think this actually would make a lot of sense, what I'm going to do is actually micromanage this one a little bit more, considering each of these stages is progressive, so you can't do grinding and melting until you've done sorting. So, what we're going to do is actually just have this junior H operator. His entire job is going to be to switch between each of the roles, for better or worse. And looks like we don't have anything else we can do with, or not do with, we don't have any other roles we can fill. So you know what? Yeah, that guy is still pooping. Which is insane. Alright, do we have any facilities that we don't need to specifically be running right now? And the answer looks to be, no, we're going to need all of them. Alright, so in that case, let's... Yeah, we didn't... Oh, we do have a versatile. Perfect. Let's pull him out. Go over to our plastics factory, which we plopped right here, and drag him. Kind of wish there's an easier button of, like, pulling up your idle menu, but... Oh well. I mean, the game is in early beta. Okay, so we've got the versatile guy. He will be on the plastics factory. This, plastic sorting, haven't actually made this yet, but for doing this, this gets us plastic scrap alpha, beta, and gamma. Only a little bit of each, but this is a great way of saving money because these cost 2. Each of these costs 5, so technically, 5 or more. So technically we're making a huge profit, sort of. Here's the question, can I just drag these out? Oh! Well, that's how I make money. I think. It all just disappeared on me. Let's see if I can sell something else that I don't need. Let's see if it'll tell me. I guess we'll try this. Yeah, okay, so you can sell resources back to the market. So once we actually get this plastic situation sorted, we could actually probably turn quite the profit, because the thing is, let's see, 100 iron ingots is 40 SC. So can I see how much? I can't see how much this is worth in the meantime. But in the future, now we know what we're doing, or at least now we know how to recoup some of our losses. We might not actually be screwed here, because yeah, I can buy metallic garbage for 1 SC and probably convert that up. Let's see, plastic garbage to 1 to 100. Gonna feed people. I'd have to do the math on this one, but if alpha and beta modules are, oh geez, beta's worth even more, and gamma's worth crazy. So what we're probably gonna do is once we finally got, and you know what? Actually, while we're here, I might as well just buy the plastic scrap, get the process running, because what we're gonna do is start this guy, and as it goes, once he's done, we're gonna have 10 gamma. Might as well just sell it. It's not going to make me that much, but considering it cost me 200 to make this, I can recoup my losses mainly by selling beta and alpha scrap. So there's that. It'll take a while, but once it works, it works. What does this produce? Alpha plastic flake. Yeah, because like this is how you get the really complicated materials, which we'll have to look into at some point. I don't even know how to get any of these. Iron scrap is worth nothing either. But eventually you can build like energy accumulators and energy amplifiers and whatnot. But for the time being, this is how to set up basic extraction, which is very important, especially for self-sustainability. It's expensive to get going, but once you have it going, it's not bad. Because, I mean, our basic organics are going up. Actually, our first order of food came in. We're not going to starve. Who freaking yay? Unfortunately, we're going to run out of food in 3 days. Should be sustainable, hopefully. Because as long as we don't run out of food here, I think my entire ecosystem is actually completely self-sustaining. We're going to need to work on getting this to work faster, though. Because these guys are slower than these guys. And I kind of wish you could tell this thing to automatically turn on whenever it actually has enough resources. Oh, well, I'll figure that one out. Let's see. Because, yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of checking to make sure everything's even working properly. Building maintenance is not going. Might as well turn it on. Because these guys are recycling like crazy. Because we're pulling in more than enough organic matter. So we're always going to have a surplus of this, which is great. Which probably means we'll always have a surplus of fertilizer too. Seaweed fattening. We're going to be running low, but I'm probably going to have fertilizer before this runs out. I don't know. It's weird. And then this is desalinating. And this one, I believe, runs completely independently of anything. Yeah. So we could actually desalinate frequently. I could actually get more operators in here, but I think our food budget is going to run into issues way before anything else. So, I think the planes are running pretty well too. And you're not stopping on me. It stopped for whatever reason. Not really sure about this. Huh. Weird. Well, either way, plastic sorting has started. Don't have any extras, but there's that. At this point, I'm just kind of doing a run check to make sure everything is working as designed, because the assembly guy can't even do anything, so let's just move him over to this. He might as well do something, even if he's not good at it. Yeah. Because this is going to take a while, but once it all works, we'll have extra plastics. Okay. And you are working correctly, too, right? You're doing plastics, right? No. It forgot, didn't it? It forgot. Oh, this sucks a little. Well, it's 80% done, so we'll have more extra organic material and we won't need plastic super soon. I wonder if there's a maintenance cost for anything. I don't think so. That is going to be a concern, because I'm noticing my SC has gone down. I'll have to figure that out. Also, the risk has gone up by a further 2%, which is a concern. Let's actually bust up the speed here. Make things come back faster. Except for, I actually get the feeling that the speed doesn't actually go up 4 times, and I kind of wish it would go up faster than this. Okay, it's 97%. Once this thing's back, well, we're finally going to be able to start gathering the plastics like we actually need, instead of gathering more and more organics. But I can do that in between episodes, because what we want to do next is figure out metals extraction. So what we're probably going to want to do is actually just build a metals factory and go from there. Or continue with the plastics into prefab at some point. But that's more advanced stuff, and mostly we're just looking into self-sustainability and stuff like that for the time being. Alright, you done yet? Said it was like 97% done. It ain't. Alright, well, either way. See you guys on the next episode of Project Aura, where we will get into either metals or advanced concepts, not sure. Did you finish? Okay, it's done. Should have netted. Yeah, netted me more. Alright, stop with your stupid organics. We need plastics. There we go. Everything should be working out as designed now. As I was saying, see you guys next time, and as always, please don't starve your colonists to death. They are people too. Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. Either way. Bye.